So you're looking for an online job. The concern you have is you want to find a legitimate online job and avoid the fakes and the scams. And let's be honest, there are a lot of those things out there. So how do you go about finding a legitimate work at home opportunity? Well, there's a couple of things you need to consider when you're talking about an online job. What is it that you're really looking for? Are you simply looking for somebody who will trade you money for your time, a linear exchange, where you're getting paid so much per hour or per year or per month? Or are you looking for something more comprehensive in that, where what you're being paid for is the systems that you use, and you're being paid for perhaps maybe the sales that you're making, or something that doesn't have a cap to it? So, when you think about jobs in general, some people prefer to work an hourly wage. I want to know that for every hour I go to work, I'm going to make my 8, 9, 10, $12. And then you have other people who don't want those limitations. You find this often in sales and marketing jobs where I want to be paid for my productivity, not for the hours that I donate, because my productivity I can far exceed what I would get paid on an hourly wage. And what you'll find is oftentimes when you're looking for a legitimate online job, you end up making the jump to a home based business. And the reason for that is the freedom. One of the drawbacks of a home based job is you still have set hours, you still have expectations on your time, you have a set schedule. My wife did this for years, and she was required to be at the phone at 7 o'clock in the morning, and often she wasn't off the phone till 6 o'clock in the evening. She did not have freedom with her time. She had to schedule vacations, she had to get doctor's visits approved, all of those things. Just like she was working in an office, the only difference is she was working from our home. Now, at some point, she decided she was tired of that, and so she joined me in doing the home based business. And what that means is we're responsible for generating our income, but we don't have the limitations. We have complete freedom with our time. And so the key is finding the right business that generates the income that you need and far exceed what you need, and how to do that from home, particularly using the internet. And so that's the real equalizer when it comes to starting a business. For years, the proposition of starting a business was scary because it either took a lot of money, or how do you build that, in a brick and mortar? I've got to buy a building, I've got to hire staff, I've got to do all of those things. Well, the internet's a great equalizer. It allows you to work out of your living room, your office, your coffee shop, and accomplish the same things a big business would without all of the extra expense and burden. Plus, because you're using the internet, you're able to tap into a worldwide market. Now, the key is you need to learn some basic principles that apply to any business you're going to build online. And so that's what I want to take you through is these basic principles of an online business. And what this will help you do is it will help you determine what's best for you. Do you need to pursue an online business, or do you need to be looking for just simply an online job? If you're looking for a legitimate online job, that's easy to do. You go to monster.com, you go to careerbuilder.com, Craigslist, look for those telecommuting jobs, those virtual office jobs. But if you're wanting something more, the reason most people want to work from home is they want freedom. They want to be with their children. They want to be with their spouse, their loved one. They want to be able to come and go as they please. They want to be able to go on vacation and work from anywhere. And so to do that, you may want to consider that move to the online business. So let's talk about what it takes to build a business online. Okay, so you're looking at migrating your business online. You're looking at bringing your business presence online because you want to deal in large numbers. Okay, that's what brings us online. We realize that there is a marketplace of literally billions of people around the world. And if we can somehow tap into that, then we can certainly create a much more lucrative enterprise for ourselves. So the problem that most entrepreneurs run into is they get the field of dreams mentality. And I don't know if you remember the movie Field of Dreams starring Kevin Costner, but the key phrase off of that, he kept hearing, if you build it, they will come. And unfortunately, many entrepreneurs are still living by that mantra. If you build it, they will come. Well, the truth is, that's not really how it works online. So, a couple things that we need to get straight here. If you're going to come online, there are some things that have to take place. Number one, the marketplace is full of competition, and they are vying for the focus and the eyeballs of your prospects just as much as you are. And so, what we have to do is we have to find a way to distinguish you from your competitor. We need to give you an advantage. And that's really the key. If you're going to come online, is we need to develop that advantage for you. How do you go about creating a competitive advantage for yourself? Well, there's a couple of things that come into play here. First and foremost is you develop a brand for yourself. And in that brand, what we want is we want you to have an identity. We want your prospect, when they think of your product or your service, we want them to think of no one other than you. At the end of the day, that's what we're hoping to accomplish. So how do we create a brand identity for you? Well, a couple of things have to happen. Number one, you've got to stake a claim to some online real estate. What's the address people are going to come to? How in the world are they going to find you when you're online? And so that's the first piece of this brand identity. You need to stake your claim. You need to be visible. You need to be somewhere where people can find you. And in that location, you need to create massive amounts of value for your prospect. Well, what is value? Well, value is really information. And ideally, what we want to give your prospect is the how to type information. You see, if we were going to sell drills, for example, there's a couple of ways we could sell drills. We could tell people about our drill, that it's the fastest, it's reversible, it handles this size drill bits, etc., etc., etc. But really what we ought to do is we ought to look at what is that prospect trying to do? They want to drill holes. And so we want to give them some how-to information. So we might discuss about how to do that faster, how to do more of it, how to make bigger holes, how to make smaller holes. All of these things are questions that your prospect is asking. And so what we want to do in that piece of virtual real estate is we want to answer your prospect's questions. And when we do a good job of answering your prospect's questions, guess what? They're going to spend money with you because you have now become an expert, a trusted resource. Okay? At the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do with you. That's why this piece of virtual real estate is so important. That's why developing a brand is so important. That's why adding value is so important. But the second part of making things work online is we need to create some systems. Let me clear that out again. Not spelling too well today. Here we go. Systems. And why do you need systems? Well, first and foremost, when we come to the internet, we are dealing with large numbers. So a couple things that our systems are going to help us do. They're going to help us filter because we want to separate the window shoppers from the registered shoppers, okay? Not only do we want to filter, but then we want to capture prospects. So we don't want to just have them coming to a website and leaving. We want to get their information. And out of those prospects, well, of course, we want to follow up. We want to cross-sell. And we want to upsell. And then we want repeat business. Well, all of these things we do with systems. And we make systems work to our advantage. Now, here's the challenge. You could go out and spend hours and hours and hours, days upon days, trying to figure out how to put together a system. Well, to me, that is just sheer foolishness. The real key is to use a proven system. And ideally, you want something that's generic and can work with your business. Well, here's the thing that I want to introduce to you. There's a link below this video, and I'm going to ask you to click on that link. And when you click on the link below this video, what you're going to learn about is a proven system that is going to help you brand yourself, and give you that virtual real estate you need, and provide the system to grow your business. So go ahead and click on the link below this video. Watch the information that's presented there and see how you can apply this to your own business to make it grow. I look forward to talking with you soon.